see what's going on for the Aries nation for the next 7 days. Aries, let's just jump right into it. You got a Capricorn, you got a Gemini in your situation, you have a Cancerian. As what this looks like. Seems like there's just a lot. It's like you're in your head lately. You've been thinking about a lot. Main thing, it seems like there's a couple of things that you're thinking about. Seems like it's your finances. Seems like maybe lately you feel like you can't catch a break. Maybe you feel like the majority of your money is going to your household expenses. Because lately it just seems like maybe you do have some money, and it seems like maybe you're afraid to spend it. Also feels like you got some stabbing pains in your chest, possibly, Aries. What's really going on? It does look like there are a few things on your mind. I've mentioned to you, it seems like maybe you feel like you can't catch a break financially. You're worried about your money. You're in your head about this. Maybe you're thinking about somebody's health too. Somebody could possibly be on parole, probation, especially if this has something to do with a vehicle. Maybe this is a DUI, possibly. And it also feels like what's on your mind is that maybe you're afraid to communicate with someone after maybe it looks like somebody being put their foot in their mouth. Somebody left a situation feeling offended by what somebody said. Aries or cross watcher. So it seems like right now guards are up. And somebody is second guessing their choices. You read tarot, Aries? Maybe some of you do. Maybe that's what brings you to tarot, to maybe figure out what your next moves ought to be. Definitely feels like your guides are recommending that you protect your energy this week. Okay, yeah. There's just a few things that are going on. If you do tarot online, especially, expect it. The trolls, they're lurking. And they're going to let you know that. Okay, it seems like they're really badgering you. You might even have a kid that's in school that's being bullied. Air cross watcher. Light on children, you may not have them, but maybe you might have younger family members. Maybe you have a friend that has a kid. That's going to be a friend confiding in you maybe about what's going on in their situation. There's a mother figure that shows up heavily in your reading. Yes, it's your mother. It's your parental instincts that kick in about something having to do with a child, or maybe right beneath that is intuition. Your intuition is definitely sensing a few things that are in your energy. If you feel like somebody is moving too fast, you always drive this fast, Aries. Be careful about fast driving. It looks like there's a lot of police activity in your neighborhood or around wherever you happen to be traveling through. Thank you, Spirit guys. That's exactly what this is. I see it now. So somebody put their foot in their mouth. Somebody possibly was trolling and may have said some things that they thought in a moment was funny. It was hilarious to them. So even if they were embarrassed, even if it caused them to feel embarrassed, it seems like they may have felt like they got a victory in the situation. Because let me see how you're reacting to the situation. Yes, this has something to do with somebody doing tarot. So somebody is definitely trolling online. You do tarot, Aries, or maybe you're a watcher of tarot. Maybe this is something that you're witnessing. Somebody badgering the reader. It could even be the reader saying something. There are a lot of spectators, Aries or cross watcher. Looks like you're at a crossroads about a decision. Okay, just a lot going on. Yes, okay, now I see it. So there is somebody trolling someone. So he's trolling someone online. They're saying some things behind the keyboard that they think is hilarious, right? It looks like there's other people that are watching. So they're counting on other people kind of watching or paying attention because they want a reaction from you. Okay, so just know the trolls are very active this week. Aries or cross watcher. Maybe these are other people in the background of what's going on in your situation. So you're upset. This seems like, okay, so somebody's feelings are hurt, it looks like. Somebody took offense to something that someone said. And now it seems like somebody is maybe still hurt because of something. And maybe someone is not sure. Maybe somebody's not sure about how you feel about them now. I do see that, hey, SS Amazing. It seems like there's somebody that sent a message. I want to call you Taurus all of a sudden. Maybe some of you are Taurus, Aries. You sent a message to possibly this air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. It seems like maybe somebody is waiting for a reply. Maybe somebody's not sure why you haven't said anything, Aries or Crosswatch, or somebody might be wondering if you even saw a message. Random side note, you might be seeing someone at a restaurant. Maybe you're deciding to cook at home more. What's going on with the Aries Nation? I'm going to go back to your finances. Because it seems like you feel like you're sinking. And you feel like, I'm trying to figure out, is this really happening or is this not just something that you're worried about? No, it just feels like you feel like you can't keep a hold of your spending. Because as I mentioned to you earlier, it looks like a majority of your income going to your bills. Maybe you take care of people. Maybe you work in healthcare. You're a caretaker of some type. Or this is just you. Maybe you just have a lot of people that you're responsible for. Maybe a lot of people that are helping out around this period of time. Okay. Somebody said something hurtful, disrespectful, and then it could have been the tone that somebody used. And it seems like there was other people that were present or other people that were maybe involved in the conversation. It doesn't seem like it's a conversation. Well, yeah, I guess it does. It looks like it's a back and forth. Either this is something that you witnessed or something that you participated in. Like I said, somebody put their foot in their mouth. Somebody has been very judgmental about the situation, or maybe you feel highly judged by this King of Cups, this Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. You've been keeping your distance from someone. You've decided that you're not speaking because of hurt feelings, because of what somebody said. I think it like added insult to injury. Not only did they say something that was hurtful to look for your response, but they also thought it was funny. So yeah, trust. Somebody's really upset about this. Aries or cross-watcher. And so I think that this has caused a separation. It caused you and someone to go your separate ways. What is this with tarot? Maybe you're learning tarot. Thank you, Spirit guys. Spirit, now it comes out. So somebody thought something was really funny in the moment. But after maybe giving a situation some thought, something that somebody thought was funny, now they're realizing, you know what, maybe it wasn't so funny. Maybe it wasn't so entertaining. Because now somebody feels that you pulled away and things are different. And now somebody has a change of heart. They don't want to fight anymore. They don't want to go back and forth with you anymore. So I think somebody may be kind of taking this hard. Am I right, Spirit guides? How is somebody feeling about this whole situation? You think they're going to do anything about Aries? Yeah. So the one that was hurt, they haven't forgotten. They remember every detail of what was said and somebody's facial expression while they were saying it. Somebody remembers. No, Aries isn't going to do anything. They're going to wait for a sign from you, cross-watcher, or vice versa. Somebody may have felt like maybe their age played a part. Maybe somebody is looking back and they're like, yeah, that's when I was young and dumb. That's when I did that stuff. But I'm different now. I've changed. For some of you, that's true. But for others of you, no, they knew exactly what they were doing. And they thought it was hilarious at the time. Maybe, possibly for some of you Aries Nation or Cross Watcher, there might have been a change of heart about the situation. I think there's a lot of love or admiration that someone has for you. It just seems like at this point in time, maybe it's just kind of difficult for you to tell that. I think maybe you're questioning friend groups, or maybe just socializing is just not your thing. Wow, okay. No, this looks like things got really intense, or things could possibly get very intense this week. I feel like this is somebody that enjoys pissing a lot of people off. Somebody wants to give an apology. They are going to wait for a sign from you. Their conscience is telling them, Aries or Cross Watcher, to reach out to you. But they feel like maybe you've moved on. Yeah. Okay. So there's somebody that's watching you online. So if you were once in a relationship with someone, Aries or Cross Watcher, and you're not giving them the time of day, no matter how much they try to rile you up, somebody feels like you've moved on. And it could be factual. Maybe you are posting pictures online. Maybe this person has seen you move on with someone else. Or that's what they're assuming. So who's watching you? This might be your recent ex. I think that there's somebody that feels a lot of pain, a lot of rejection over the fact that maybe you don't speak to them anymore. You moved on with somebody else and they're feeling quite salty about it. Looks like somebody is lashing out at a lot of people. This is so Aries or Cross Watcher, whoever this is somebody that definitely likes to provoke you, poke you and poke you and poke you until you react. So maybe this was a situation where you did kind of act out of character. Or maybe you're around this person. Maybe this is you. Maybe you might be having mood swings this week, Aries. What your spirit guides are talking to you about is it looks like somebody in this situation feels like they need to be right. They're holding on to the need to be right. Even though now they're realizing, okay, it was funny in the moment. It was entertaining at the moment. But now somebody knows that they're dead wrong, yet they refuse to apologize. This could be somebody prejudging situations without really truly knowing the facts. So maybe somebody is assuming a lot about you, especially Aries or Cross Watcher, if you're kind of going through something in your head, but you're not verbalizing to the people around you that you care, that maybe want to know. And we're not talking about nosy people, which you have plenty of in your reading, but we're talking about maybe the people that you live around, maybe a significant other. Somebody doesn't know what's going on in your head. So if you happen to be lashing out at them, they don't know why. They just see you kind of reacting and they're like, well, wow, what the heck is going on with Aries? Because it looks like maybe some people want to know. Maybe they're like, well, why is Aries acting like that? What's the deal with Aries? So it seems like it's just kind of up for guesswork. People are trying to guess what's the deal with you. A Cross Watcher. Oh, wow. Somebody definitely has an issue with drinking. Maybe this is something that you don't know about. Maybe you don't know how bad somebody's drinking addiction has become. I do feel that somebody that you haven't talked to, Aries, is thinking about reaching out to you. You might have like a financial situation to settle with this person. With somebody, maybe this is a creditor. This is with a family member for some of you. Spirit guide, show me what's going on with the Aries nation. What is this back and forth thing? Yeah, the issue is that you don't know. So it's the not knowing of a situation that has you kind of worried, especially if we're talking about a financial situation. It's like you have no idea how something is going to play out. Yep, your financial situation, it definitely feels like it's on repeat. So something that's going on with your money right now seems like you can't seem to get a hold of it. Oh, you got some money coming in though. There could be a job offer that could be coming in. Aries or cross watcher, seems like some of you could be going to an interview. And it looks like there's a lot of people that might be kind of competing for this same position. Seems like for some of you, if you're not looking for a job right now, this feels like this is an area of work where there's a lot of greed, where it's everybody out for themselves. And maybe you kind of feel like the odd one out. Maybe you feel like, okay, like it's just kind of you're because the competition is stiff, and maybe there are a lot more competitors that are coming in to the I don't know, the type of work that you do. It seems like you're having a hard time kind of staying on top. Maybe you feel like you're kind of sinking. It looks like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to maybe accomplish something very quickly. Your spirit guides are guiding you to be patient, and they're letting you know that whatever it is that you're working on, Aries or cross watcher, consistency bears fruit in your situation. Some of you, maybe it's the situation of moving. Maybe perhaps you want to move, but you're having to make a decision about where. Some of you might be waiting for a decision to be made this week, and maybe the issue is a financial one. Maybe you want to move, but you just seem like you cannot get a hold of your financial situation. Okay, but I definitely feel like you have a move that's coming up, Aries or cross watcher, and I think that somebody might be getting back to you about this, because it definitely feels like there is a contract that's coming in. This might be something that helps you, okay, because it looks like maybe something is going on with the people in the home. This could be where the tension is, but I also feel like there was some sort of significant change that happens in your situation. It may help you and the people in your home out. But really and truthfully, this whole thing where I see a back and forth, this feels like there's a shared space that there's a space that you're sharing with other people. You're spending time together. Maybe it could be with work. If you're spending obviously you're spending at least 8 hours if you work full time with with these people. I think it's at home though, since we're talking about home. Maybe there are some boundaries in your home that you're putting. Maybe this has something to do with the people in your home. You're putting boundaries up when it comes to a particular situation, especially if maybe, I don't know if this is roommates, and maybe your roommates are going back and forth. I don't know what this is, but I definitely feel like there's something going on in your household. What I will tell you is that since we're talking about things that could possibly play out this week, we're talking about back and forth situations getting too intense, too riled up, to the point that other people start to watch, or other people are wondering what the heck is going on, because it looks like people are taking notice. They're like, well, so if that's you, Aries, I was saying, what's going on over there? Somebody is angry, right? Somebody hears a lot of commotion. So somebody's like, well, I don't know what's going on. What's going on over there? So it causes somebody to look to see what the commotion is. Somebody hears something, and it's some foolishness. But it also feels like somebody is just way too invested in what's going on. Like they're just watching. Like maybe somebody's been watching you for a while, especially if we're talking about you being an influencer online. Especially because it's emphasized so much here if you happen to be a tarot reader. So it seems like an increasing amount of tarot readers that are watching you, or you're watching a lot of readers. Somebody's obsessed with what it is that you're doing. Spirit guys, show me what's going on with the Aries nation for the next 7 days. Oh, okay. Nope, you got another situation that's going on here about who could possibly be watching you, which we're going to look at in a minute. Spirit guys, show me what's going on. Falsifying information, huh? Spirit guys, show me what's going on with Aries nation. Who is watching the Aries nation? Well, let's talk about it. It seems like some of you are, no, we got it. Thief. Let me repeat it for emphasis, especially if you're in the tarot community. Somebody is constantly binge watching what you're doing so they can then go and copy. Thief, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. I would say that somebody could possibly be trying to steal your partner, but it looks like somebody is like willingly letting this happen. Like somebody's trying to steal somebody away. Somebody's not sure. Maybe if something is going on at somebody's job, if somebody's talking to somebody. Yeah, that's fine. But this is definitely somebody stealing somebody's content, their material, especially as I mentioned, if you are an influencer. I say that somebody has a drinking issue. So somebody could possibly be under the influence. I talked to you about maybe a child. Your parental instincts may catch up, may kind of kick in, and maybe you don't like who's influencing your child. So this might cause you to kind of look into the situation. You and somebody else, especially like I said, if this has something to do with a kid. It does not have to be your child. This could be a younger sibling, an older sibling, family member, people that you live with. Who's also, yes, thank you. Turn it over, addict. Somebody has an issue with binge watching, number one, like to the point that somebody is addicted to whatever you're posting, which could be a good thing. Seems like it's attracting in some good momentum, but it's also attracting in spectators that are just there to be troublesome. Who's also watching you, Aries or cross watcher, is a detective. Because did I say that you could possibly be in legal trouble? I say at the top of the reading, some of you could be on parole or probation. Maybe somebody has conditions from the court where they have to maybe get drug tested, go to rehab, this sort of thing. I see somebody possibly getting released. Said you're in recovery. Congratulations to you for taking that step. It just seems like somebody feels like there's just a mountain in front of them. Somebody is like this, they're like, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if I can complete this. There might be other people that might be wondering if somebody could possibly, it seems like there's just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of question marks. What is this? Something is going on. Maybe you're spending a lot of time in vehicle. Something is going on with your car right now. Maybe this is you putting your car in the shop. Maybe, something is, you might be taking your car to the mechanic is what I'm trying to say. Something is going on with your car. Looks like maybe it's time to get a new one, Aries or cross watcher. Maybe you might be looking into that. And maybe eventually you might get one. You might want to take care of this car situation because it seems like something with it, with a vehicle. Maybe it has something to do with keeping up with the payments. This is a car accident. Did you get into a car accident, Aries or cross watcher? Somebody injured. Spirit guide, show me what's going on with Aries. It doesn't necessarily tell me that there's an injury, but it is telling me that you could be getting in a car accident, or you could possibly be witnessing a car accident. This feels like there's just an accident that could be prevented. This would have something to do with someone maybe drinking a bit too much alcohol and getting behind the wheel of a car. And this might land somebody in legal trouble. And it seems like this is what somebody's concerned about. Is maybe their driving privileges. Spirit guide, show me more about this. The Aries Nation. You got a detective watching you. Unless this is somebody playing detective, because let's talk about it. You got some nosy people in your situation, so they could be playing detective. Here it is. Here's the troll behind the keyboard. There they are. Yeah, there's something that maybe you have to pay. This is a fine. This is restitution. This might be your car insurance. There is a cross watcher. Maybe there's something that you have to settle with this situation because it seems like you're worried about something. You're worried about the outcome to something that might be going on with the Aries nation. Somebody's worried about doing time. Aries. Is what this looks like to me. And I also see somebody making a scene because of their anger. Maybe somebody's feeling embarrassed because of it. Maybe these are your neighbors kind of overhearing what is said. This is what I mean. Some of this is preventable. This doesn't have to take place. This whole legal situation, unless this was something that happened prior and you've already had this situation going. But some of you, this is something that is not, this doesn't have to play out. Spirit guide, show me what's going on for the Aries nation. Yep. Let's talk about it. Lies. This is definitely something online. We talked about that. We did. We talked about thievery, right? In the tarot community, people stealing people's content, people saying the same exact thing verbatim that they heard the other reader say. Thievery. It seems like people are starting to see it. People are starting to catch on, especially as somebody's content starts to pick up momentum. People are able to see through who's real and who's fake. They're starting to come together. It's starting to kind of make sense. Like I said, if somebody kind of picks up an influence in this sort of thing. Let's see what's going on with this whole situation. I definitely see that somebody's watching you with a lot of obsession. We talked about that. Somebody is suspicious of somebody's lies. That's what I mean. So if somebody is saying something, somebody's lips are moving, Aries Nation, a cross watcher, they're lying. Somebody becomes suspicious that somebody is lying. And now somebody's caught, right? We talked about somebody being in trouble. So if we're talking about court and such, and somebody is lying in court, somebody is called out for being deceptive. So it looks like somebody might have thought that they were going to get away with a lie in court, and they find out the hard way that it don't work that way. You are waiting for somebody to get in touch with you. Or you are maybe procrastinating on possibly getting in touch with someone. Somebody is waiting for your call. I mentioned to you, somebody sent a message. Somebody is now waiting for your reply, Aries or crosswatcher. Maybe this is you waiting by the phone. Maybe you're feeling frustrated. You're waiting for a call back from a job. Aries Nation or crosswatcher, it comes through. It just seems like you're panicked. I don't know if this is you just always having anxiety like this. Especially if you're out of work, it makes sense that you would be anxious and worried because it looks like you have a lot of responsibilities. Some of you Aries or cross watchers, you could possibly be going to a financial institution. You could possibly be getting a loan. Some of you could possibly be bailing someone out of jail. Seems like you got a fitness goal too, Aries. Maybe you're getting back in the gym. Let's talk about the situations with you singles. I mentioned some of you have moved on to another relationship. In the background of your situation, it looks like there's an ex of yours. This could even be an ex-friend. Just kind of like fill in the blank however it really applies. Hi, Christine Judd. What's up? In the background of your situation, there's somebody that you're upset with. I think somebody wants to come in and make peacemaker, play peacemaker in this situation. Maybe there's a person that you thought that you would grow old with. Somebody passed away. Where are we? Oh my gosh, it just dawned on me. Happy birthday, Aries Nation. Happy upcoming birthday. Happy birthday if today is your birthday. I was trying to see is I just it just happened to come across in the reading that maybe somebody passed away during Aries season, or maybe Pisces season, maybe earlier this month. This might be somebody's death date, especially if somebody passed in a car accident and it involved drunk driving. It's about a father figure. It looks like somebody is coming to you. Aries or cross watcher, somebody coming to you. I think somebody's maybe wanted to come and see you for a while, possibly somebody from the military. Let's see. Who's coming to see you? Hmm. Did I say I was talking to the singles? Okay. I was mentioning something about a mentor, and I was saying something about a father figure. It doesn't have to be that it's a father figure. This could be somebody's uncle, granddad, family member. You get what I mean. So if you don't have kids, take it however it resonates. But it does look like maybe there's somebody that is coming to visit, wants to come and visit. That could possibly be, yeah, somebody wants to speak to you. So you could possibly be speaking to somebody. Maybe you're not on speaking terms with someone this week, and maybe coming up, you might be somebody in your energy is a liar. Somebody is a charlatan wearing a mask. It looks like somebody's afraid to be who they are or reveal to you their true identity. Because if you take a look in both cards, there's a mask. So this could definitely be someone in your comments commenting, not wanting you to know who their real identity is, but they're a troll. Singles. If there's somebody that you're talking to, you're getting to know someone. Yeah, let's dive into that. Let's see what's really going on with that Aries Nation across watcher. You said you have 3 or 4 around you. It's crazy. How do you deal with it? My son's birthday is today, first day of spring, Pisces sun, Aries cusp. Yes. Happy birthday to your son. Yep, some of you are definitely online. You have a podcast. This is what I mean. You have some sort of influence. Your words have some sort of pull. Somebody, okay, so if you're dating someone singles, it seems like there's somebody in your past that you might have in mind. Somebody that might be thinking about you around this period of time, yet you're not talking. So maybe you're moving on to somebody else to kind of get your mind off of a breakup. You're getting into something new. So it looks like you're going into a situation already with your guards up, likely because of something that you came out of. You're being cautious. One of you is on guard. The other one of you is moving kind of quickly. And I think somebody is lying about something. I think somebody might be telling you everything that you want to hear. Aries Nation across watcher. Notice the troll is going. They want to tell you everything. They're telling you everything that you want to hear. But something about what somebody is saying doesn't seem to add up. You become suspicious. This is not everybody's story. Take it how it genuinely resonates. Some of you, it doesn't resonate at all because it hasn't had a chance to play out. You have a suspicion that somebody is lying and somebody gets caught in a lie. And somebody's embarrassed. They're left looking like a whole fool out here. What they've been lying to you about, they're lying to you about something. Spirit says there's deception, there's lies coming out of this person's mouth. Maybe somebody smokes weed. Perhaps somebody's name could be Danny. Or maybe you're decided, maybe you're eating out, maybe you're um, going to restaurants, you're eating at restaurants. Somebody is a bit nervous that somebody's going to figure out that somebody lied. It looks like somebody has a lot of anxiety. Wow, I can never remember who this is. So I'm going to just put the names out there. Somebody's name could be Freddie, Jason, or Michael. Once again, a mask. Promise you. Okay, so somebody's talking to you. I mentioned to you, yep, a menace. Like you can't see their identity. You see what I mean? Like somebody's wearing a mask. Somebody's talking to you from a fake account, Aries Nation or Crosswatcher. They don't want you to know that it's they don't want you to know that it's them. But you already know who it is. You know who it is, and so does everybody else. Everybody is looking like, is that fool? Is that fool that said that? Yes, it's them. You already know. That's what I mean. Somebody's putting their foot in their mouth. Somebody's making a fool of themselves. So maybe this is your ex. Remember I mentioned to you an ex-friend or whatever. Somebody is commenting or talking to you under this fake account. That could definitely be your partner or somebody's ex playing detective. For some of you, this person doesn't even have an ex. They're still involved with somebody because they're lying about something. They might give you this flimsy excuse about who they're talking to, who they're messaging, and you already know that something is up. Make sure, singles or cross-watchers, that you're not somebody's well-kept secret, because it seems like somebody that you're dealing with could be very indecisive. They have one foot in and one foot out of a relationship or a situationship, maybe a couple people that they're dangling on a string. And for some of you, hear me clearly, let me emphasize this because it's not everybody's story. So let's roll it back to the one that said this doesn't resonate at all, because it's not your story. Chances are it might, and maybe you might be feeling a bit salty about it because it is, and you feel like you're being put on blast. But yeah, this is somebody that doesn't really want a relationship. They're just trying to keep things open. And it seems like maybe somebody is not really truly being honest with you. So your guides are saying, if this is your situation, because it seems like something has you a bit nervous, a little bit tense, they're saying be careful that you don't get hurt in this situation. Your suspicions are arising, yet you're unsure about where things are going. You have a lot of anxiety. I mentioned to you it has something to do with your home. Maybe you're having an issue with your landlord. Maybe this back and forth thing could possibly be with your landlord or the bank, since we're talking about that. Something might take you to the bank. Maybe there's a transaction that needs to be made. Maybe there's something that you need to pay. Maybe some of you are behind on bills, and perhaps this has become kind of a regular thing. This is a repeating situation for you. Spirit guys, what else is relevant for the zodiac sign of Aries? So, yeah, let's talk about work. I think I already did. I mentioned that you got a situation where somebody is trolling you at work. Somebody at work is a so-called bully. They're talking to you any type of way, trying to get a reaction from you at work. And there are other people that are taking notice of what's going on. Like there's a troublemaker at work. I don't know if this is rumors that's getting started or whatever. What's going on at work? Yes, Spirit guys say it's a bully. Somebody is verbally abusing an Aries. It's possible, I suppose. Or this could be the Aries doing this. So is somebody talking to you? Yes. What am I talking about? Yes, somebody is talking to you crazy in front of a lot of other people. It could be happening at home, but it could definitely be happening at work. There's a Leo that just hopped into your reading. There's a Virgo. Yeah, it looks like you had a lot of work that maybe you're behind when it comes to work, right? It seems like you're just stressed out. And besides that, it feels like something is going on emotionally with you. Seems like maybe you've been fighting some depression. Maybe sometimes it's kind of difficult for you to get out of bed. Aries Nation, it could be because you're feeling tired. There's something about your routine, your everyday routine, Aries or cross watcher, that you might not feel is working. Maybe there's just something about your everyday 24-hour routine that maybe you feel is just kind of redundant. Maybe you feel like you need to make changes, but it might feel like it's the circumstances that kind of have you spinning in circles. Seems like you might do something that you fidget with your fingers. You have some sort of nervous habit, it looks like. Maybe you have a pet. Maybe you might be getting some emotional support from a pet. Somebody is sick this week. Maybe this is you. Maybe you could possibly be calling out from work. Unless this is somebody going to work hung over. I see someone going to work. Or maybe somebody's vomiting, this looks like. Maybe somebody has a temperature. Maybe it's not that. I mentioned to you somebody is possibly going to work under the influence. Maybe somebody partied the night before. Maybe it's not partying. Maybe they're drinking alone. I don't know. Maybe somebody was all up all night fighting with someone. Not sure, but I definitely see somebody that's not feeling well. Like I said, maybe this is you calling off from work. Maybe you have an animal that doesn't feel well. Oh, is this why you're having an issue with your landlord? You need to get something notarized, some sort of paperwork. Maybe you have an emotional support animal. Maybe you're trying to move into a place, but this is where you're having some sort of conflict. It's with a pet. Maybe you have a restricted breed of dog. And not necessarily a dog. Maybe you have an exotic pet. Like you're worried about credit card debt. You're worried about every single thing. So maybe you might feel that you're a bit of a worrywart this week. Aries or cross watcher. Oh, I just noticed something. Let me roll it back. I was talking to the single. It doesn't even have to be that it's the single nation that I'm talking to. There could be somebody coupled and still online talking to other people. Seems like somebody is catfishing somebody. Definitely. There are lies. Somebody is telling you that right? We got all these cards with masks. I told you somebody does not want you to know their identity. So whoever this is behind the keyboard that maybe you're talking to, somebody might be posting a whole different picture of somebody else saying that they're this person and they're really not. Somebody ends up getting caught anyway. Moving back in, maybe times are kind of hard, Aries, financially, either with your situation or someone else's. Somebody could possibly be moving back in, possibly with you. Or you could possibly, are you moving back in with your mom? Maybe this is something you might be considering. Maybe some of you are moving, maybe to a different location. Maybe this isn't something you had anticipated, but maybe something about your circumstances might cause you to maybe change something up a bit. So if you are playing detective and you're looking through your partner's stuff, right? Somebody is falsifying information, it says. So, of course, this could be the detective falsifying information about somebody's case. This could be somebody writing something that's not exactly truth. So this could be defamation. This could be libel type of thing. If this is a partner of yours, they already know. They already know that you lied about something. Somebody is nervous that somebody's about to find out. So yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to delete the information. Unless this is you at work. Maybe you're kind of moving way too quickly. It is Mercury retrograde. You're moving too fast. You send an email or whatever. Something gets deleted. Maybe you delete something by accident. And maybe it was something that you needed to turn in and it needed to be turned in by a particular deadline. Because it looks like you're kind of skating close to deadlines this week, or you're just like overdue with certain things. Maybe it has something to do with a library book. Are you, oh, somebody pregnant? Because I'm like, is somebody this nauseous? But I guess maybe it's medication that's making your stomach kind of nauseous. Maybe it's certain smells. Maybe Aries Nation or cross watcher, maybe you're behind in, what am I trying to say? Like chores. Seems like you got a lot on your mind and you got a lot going on. Maybe chores are kind of piling up. Maybe you forgot to take out the trash or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot going on on your mind. Maybe it's the garbage disposal. I don't know. Something's going on. Maybe it's a neighbor or whatever. It seems like you're nauseous. You're very sensitive to smells around you. Definitely feels like there's somebody coming back. I'm telling you, somebody's moving back in. Somebody's coming back home. I mentioned to you possibly from jail. Or somebody's going to maybe a halfway house. I mentioned rehab. Maybe from the hospital. Because this looks like somebody is not feeling well. So there could possibly be a trip to the hospital. This seems like you're checking on somebody's well-being. You're concerned about somebody's health and well-being. Spirit guys, what is this? What's going on with the Aries Nation? Oh, we're over an hour. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Spirit guys, what is the advice that you have for the Aries Nation for the next 7 days? Stay connected. We're all born connected to spirit, often known as the divine source. Yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect with the source. So it just seems like, the word ego stands for easing God out. That's only if you believe in God. If you don't, replace it with whatever it is you believe in. If you don't, disregard. This might not be a part of the message, but your spirit guides are guiding you to stay connected with them because it looks like they've got some sort of solution on the way. Your angels, they're coming through with some sort of guidance that you're nervous about. You're nervous that maybe something is not going to work out or that something is just going to kind of fall apart. It seems like your guides are saying stay connected to them. They've got a solution for you, Aries Nation, with some sort of obstacle in your life where you're not sure how to navigate it. They've got a solution for you, so they're telling you to stay tuned. Appreciate you, Tressie. All right, Aries Nation, this concludes your 7-day forecast with angelic ascensions. I hope that this reading was helpful. Leave a comment below. You never know how your bravery and honesty may help another in the comments. Thank you, Aries Nation and Cross Watchers, for tuning in this week. Have a blessed, beautiful, productive week. I'll see y'all in the next one.